My beloved child, be still and quiet your spirit before. My presence for this hour does not belong to the time of the world, but to the hour of heaven. I speak to you from eternal glory, from the throne, where holy fire never dies, where every power bows and falls silent before my name. Open your spiritual ears to hear. Open your heart to receive. For my words today are not only comfort but armor breath for battle oil poured upon the head of the warrior I have chosen. There is an enemy prowling in the shadows, one who does not sleep, who waits for the moment your soul feels weary, who walks like a roaring lion seeking whom he may devour. He thought you were alone. He thought the night concealed his schemes. He mistook my silence for absence. But hear me, for my word is light that cannot be extinguished. Darkness cannot conquer the light. Darkness cannot seal your destiny. Darkness cannot touch a soul sealed by my spirit. I have seen the nights when you trembled, the moments you believed you were breaking, when in truth, I was making you unshakable. I saw doubt creep into your thoughts like cold wind through a crack in the wall. I heard the whisper of the serpent, as in the garden long ago, sowing doubt, sowing fear, sowing lies about you and about me. But today I rise, today I speak, today the enemy is silenced. For I am the God of light, and no darkness can stand before me. I am the one who fights for you, who wields the sword of fire, who places my foot upon the serpent's neck and destroys every secret scheme. I do not protect you from afar. I stand on the battlefield beside you. When I rise, the enemy trembles. When I speak, darkness dissolves like mist under the sunday. When I lift my hand, no attack can reach the soul I cover. Hear this and carve it into your spirit. The enemy tried to strike you in the night, but I did not wait for dawn. I stepped into the night and turned it into my light. In darkness you felt small, but in me you are mighty as the Lion of Judah. Not by your strength, but by my armor upon you, by my blood over you, by my word forming a wall of fire around you. You thought you were fighting alone, but it has always been I who fought. Your silence in suffering was not abandonment. It was my hand on your shoulder whispering to your spirit, "Stand firm." When the storm rose, you did not break. I bent you so your roots could deepen. When shadows pressed upon your mind, I was tearing the veil so my glory could burst from within you. And now I proclaim before every power you belong to me. You are not soil for darkness to plant its seeds. You are not spoils for the enemy's hand. You are a warrior anointed by me. You bear the mark of heaven. Upon your forehead is not the sign of defeat, but of royalty. Every power sees and knows your soul has a king, for I wrote your name in my book before the sun was hung in the sky. Know this, my victory is not merely given to you, it wraps around you. It is armor on your shoulders, a shield upon your chest, fire around your feet. No curse touches you without passing through. My hand first, and I permit no arrow to pierce the peace I give. The enemy thought he struck your weakness, yet I turned your weakness into the doorway of my glory. Do not fear the roar of darkness. I heard it before you did, and I have broken its teeth. It has a voice but no bite. It threatens but holds no authority. It thrashes in places I do not permit it to enter. And if it comes near, it comes only to witness my glory rise in your defense. Child, your soul has entered the hour of sacred warfare. Not the war that brings fear, but the war that reveals my power in you. And from this moment stand in truth. The enemy did not defeat you in the night because I stood before him. I shielded you with my presence. I clothed you in my victory. And you walk not in borrowed triumph, but in triumph written for you since eternal ages. Therefore be strong, stand firm, breathe the breath of heaven. Do not look at the darkness. Look at me, the one who turns night into light. You are mine, and where I stand the enemy cannot exist. This is truth, and this truth is your weapon. Hear deeply and receive not with fleshly ears, but with a heart forged in fire. I do not speak for you to merely know. I speak for you to become. You were not created to fear darkness. You were born in light from light for light. Darkness trembles when you stand in your place, for you bear my seal and no one can erase it. The enemy believed the long night would make you forget me, yet it was in the night that I drew closest. When men slept, I kept watch. When strange thoughts approached, I raised walls of fire around your soul. When dreams threatened your peace, I was the voice cutting through the night, breaking illusions, casting the serpent from the gate of your mind. There is no whisper of darkness I did not hear first. There is no scheme I did not see from eternity. And you are never alone, for I have appointed armies of light to stand beside you, not seen by earthly eyes, but radiant in glory that drives back darkness simply by breathing in my presence. My child, do not be unsettled when the enemy attacks in silence. That silence itself is proof that it trembles. It does not dare to face the light, so it hides in the cracks of shadow. It does not dare to shout, so it whispers like a thief in the night. It cannot step into the light I place over you, so it clings to the edge of darkness, hoping you will look down instead of looking up. But I say, lift your head, for my glory does not rise from the earth, it descends from heaven, and those who look to me shall have radiant faces, and darkness will not cover their eyes. You were not destined to tremble under pressure. You were destined to stand upright in the storm. You were not placed on earth to be commanded by the voice of the enemy. You were placed to command in my name. There is authority in your words, not because of your strength, but because I live in you. And every word spoken in faith becomes a sword cutting through the layers of darkness the enemy has built. I have heard the quiet questions within you. Why does darkness still come? Why does the pressure not lift? Why do the long nights not end? My child, do not see this as failure. It is the sign that you have stepped into territory darkness fears to lose. If you had no spiritual value, it would not bother with you. If you did not carry light, it would not try to extinguish it. If you were not anointed by me for battle, it would not gather its strength against you. But do not be mistaken, it is not acting by its own initiative. It is merely reacting to what I am doing in you. You rise, so it trembles. You advance, so it scrambles. You stand near the crest of my revealed glory, so it throws echoes of fear to stop you. But I declare you will not stop. You will not retreat. You will not fall. You move forward because I move forward. And when I march, every dark power scatters and breaks apart, as Jericho's walls fell at the sound of my command. Your soul is not small. You are not a faint ember. You are a flame lit by my breath, a flame not fed by wind but by heaven's breath. And spiritual fire does not die when wind blows, it rises. The night does not dim it. The night only makes its brightness burn more fierce. Nothing touches you without passing through my hand. No scheme has access to your life without being restrained by my authority. You think this battle is invisible, but it was proclaimed in heaven before it appeared on earth. You think you face shadowy forces, but in truth they fear the light within you, and that light is from me, and no one can take what is in my hand. I formed you by my word. I called you by name. I sealed you with my spirit. And what I seal, no force can unseal. What I cover, no arrow penetrates. Where I stand, no foe endures. Do not look at threats. Look to the one seated on the throne. Do not heed the whispers of the enemy. Listen to my voice from eternity. For my word is higher than its word, my truth sharper than its tongue, my presence heavier than its shadow. I determine reality, not it. I define your identity, not darkness. And remember, my victory is not only the outcome, it is my nature. I do not strive to win. I am victory. The enemy does not try to fail. It is failure delayed. And you and me do not walk to find triumph, but walk from triumph already decreed. Hold your peace, for your peace is not built on circumstance, but on my throne. Hold your faith, for your faith rests not in what you see, but in the one you belong to. Stand, for the enemy trembles when you stand. Look, for when your eyes behold me, darkness turns to ash. And do not forget, your armor is not iron, but the radiant presence of my glory upon your soul. It is not material, but power. Not earthly weaponry, but heavenly kingship, invisible, yet every force recognizes it and fears. You wear my victory like a garment. You bear my light like a crown. You stand in my authority, as a warrior anointed by heaven, and in every breath you carry the evidence that darkness lost before it ever began. Listen, for I speak as I spoke to your forefathers in the wilderness, as I spoke to my servant in the fire of the burning bush, as I spoke to the chosen nation standing before the great sea with the army behind them. I do not change. I am, the one who was, who is, and who will come. My word is established forever, and not a single stroke of it falls to earth without purpose. Stand upon my decree, for my word is a lamp for your feet, a double-edged sword that pierces a refining fire, a hammer that shatters the fortress of darkness. When darkness covers the earth and thick night covers the nations, my light rises upon you, and my glory shines over your life. Do not tremble at the breath of the enemy, for it is only wind that fades. But my voice thunders over the waters, roars like many rivers, and my power melts mountains like wax before me. You saw my hand in the daylight. Now you will see my hand in the night. For I have never left you for a single hour, nor forsaken you for a heartbeat. As I stood with Joshua in battle, as I covered David when he faced the giant, as I shut the lions' mouths for Daniel, as I walked with the three in the fiery furnace, as I broke the chains for Peter, so I stand with you in the night of your war, not because you deserve it, but because I chose you and I do not change my mind. Engrave this in your heart: if God is for you, who can be against you? No enemy, no night, no spell, no curse, no hidden power can stand. No weapon formed against you will prosper, for I cover you beneath the shadow of my wings. Your soul dwells under the shelter of the Almighty, and in that place the enemy finds no path. I am your shield, your strong tower, the fortress of your soul that cannot be breached. The enemy moves in darkness, yet I am the light that exposes him. He schemes on the earth, but my plan spoken from heaven stands above his reach. He believes he watches you, yet he stands only in the place I allow, so that he may become a witness to the victory I reveal in your life. As the Red Sea opened before my people, as the walls of Jericho fell before my command, as Satan fell before the cross and the empty tomb, so the darkness before you will be shattered, not by the strength of your hand, but by the breath of my voice, declaring, "Stand firm." My child, know that I have clothed you in the armor of righteousness, placed the sword of the Spirit in your hand, fitted your feet to carry the good news of peace, set upon your head the crown of victory, and wrapped you in the mantle of redemption. When you stand, heaven records it. When you bow, angelic armies position themselves. When you open your mouth and call to me, the heavens tremble, and the enemy knows you do not stand alone, but in covenant with the faithful one. The enemy attacks you in shadows, but you hold my covenant in secret communion. He whispers, yet I declare. He casts doubt, yet I establish. He tries to make you feel small, yet I remind all creation of my name resting upon you. He tries to choke your breath, yet I breathe life into your spirit and raise you on new feet. You are chosen not to shrink back, but to stand as a pillar of light in the night, as a city on a hill that cannot be hidden. I have made you a sign, a reminder to the darkness that its time is limited. You do not merely survive, you reign in me. You do not merely overcome, you tread upon the heads of serpents and scorpions in the Spirit. And nothing touches you, unless I permit it, and I do not permit anything to destroy you. Only refine you, so that my glory shines more brightly in you. Lift your eyes, for your salvation draws near. Stand firm, for I have stripped the power of darkness. Persevere, for the one who stands to the end receives the crown of life. Hear me, speak to your soul. Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. As a mother bird shields her young beneath her wings, I shelter you under the shadow of my power. As Mount Zion stands unmoved through quakes and storms, your soul stands unshaken in the heart of my mercy. What I began in you, I will complete. I do not abandon my work. I do not hand you over to the enemy. I do not leave your life hanging between darkness and a thin hope. No, I am the foundation that cannot be moved. I am the eternal rock. The gates of hell cannot prevail against you, for I myself shut the prison of darkness. My power does not grow weary, my arm does not shorten, and my heart does not change when you walk through cold nights. I will never leave you nor forsake you. This is my oath, and I do not swear by the names of men, but by my own nature which cannot lie. So stand, my child, stand like one who has heard the trumpet of heaven. Stand like one who has seen lightning from the throne. Stand like one who knows his God lives, and he does not sleep, does not tire, does not retreat. Stand as one redeemed, anointed, sealed. Stand not in your own strength, but in the power of the one who called your name before the foundations of the earth. Night does not define you. Darkness does not instruct you. Fear does not own you. You belong to me, and I am your victory, your shield, your fortress, your breath, your strength, and your light, until the final dawn rises upon all creation, and every knee bows and confesses me as Lord. So, chosen ones, stand in this truth. I am the fortress around you, and the enemy cannot cross the boundary I set. As the sea obeys the line where my word commands it to stop, as the heavens stretch at my breath, as the stars move by my decree, so your life is held under the order of my kingdom. No wicked hand crosses my guard, no hidden arrow slips past my shield, no shadow surpasses the light I placed within you. Listen and carve this into the stone of your spirit. The enemy attacked in darkness, but I stepped into the darkness and it dissolved. He threatened, but I spoke, and his voice fell silent. He built strongholds in thought, but I exhaled, and they collapsed like dust. He sought to bind, but I placed the sword of deliverance in your hands. No chain survives when I declare freedom. No seal remains when I give the key. No night endures when I send forth my light through you. I saw the quiet tears when no one saw. I saw you clench your hands in silence, so you would not break. I heard the sighs you did not dare to speak out loud. Those moments were not lost. I held them in my cup, and from them I made oil to anoint you. From weariness I sowed new strength. From struggle I birthed endurance. From trembling I raised a warrior. I called your name in the dark, and you answered. I came when the cold wind touched your soul, and you stood though your knees shook. I watched as your heart wrestled shadows, and you did not abandon me. Therefore I rise for you, and the heavens tilt when I stretch my arm. The armies of heaven gather when you whisper my name. Where you thought you were alone, my hosts surrounded you. Where you feared darkness had won, that was the moment I prepared to reveal the victory I had established before the beginning of creation. Listen to my decree and hold it in your heart as living truth. No one can lift you out of my hand. The enemy screams, but my voice is greater. It seeks to touch you, but there is a wall of fire. It searches for cracks, but I seal them with the blood of the covenant. It tries to steal, but I have marked you, and my mark is not ink. It is my breath upon your soul. You stand not as one searching for escape, but as one who carries a mandate from heaven. You are not waiting for victory. You wear victory. You are not begging for fragile protection. You stand within the fortress of the eternal. You do not fight hoping to win. You war from the throne that has already declared triumph. Darkness does not swallow you. You are the torch that pierces the night. Stand firm, for you are built upon an unshakable foundation. Keep your heart secure, for the peace I give is not the fragile kind the world gives, then withdraws. Lift your eyes, for your destination is not the pit, but the holy mountain of glory. And when the enemy returns, it will find no familiar foothold, for the territory within you now belongs to heaven, and I have planted my banner, holy unto me. No idol sits upon the throne of your heart. No phantom occupies a corner of your mind. No foreign voice lures you from my path, for I am shepherd and I am king. I guide and I reign. You will not rattle like the lost in the wind. You will not fall like leaves before winter. You will stand like a tree planted by living waters, leaves unwithering fruit, never lacking, and in your season you will multiply. The enemy believes the night is his domain, yet night is the stage on which I prove I am the light that never goes out. It imagines striking you weakens me, but it only reveals how fiercely my heart burns for you. It imagines shaking you turns you away, but in your trembling you cling tighter, and I wrap you stronger. So walk now, not in hesitation, but in the quiet majesty of one whom heaven has touched. Speak not with shaky lips, but with authority given. Breathe not in fear, but in the freedom of a child of light. Remember, I am your shield. I am your light. I am your salvation. Whom shall you fear? Look, night is retreating. My breath is moving. My light spills across the edge of the sky, and you standing in covenant, clothed in my victory, armored with my glory. Step forward, not as one escaping battle, but as one anointed by heaven to rule in the presence of enemies, and no power can shake the throne I have raised within your spirit. For I have spoken, and what I speak stands, and you stand in what I speak. Come close now, child. Do not hurry. You do not need to force your way into peace, for peace is not a door you struggle to open. Peace is the house I built within you before you ever named your first fear. Sit down in your soul, not on the chair of anxiety, but on the immovable foundation of belonging to me. I am here, not far off, not waiting for you to become worthy, not watching from above. I sit beside you. As a father sits with a child through the long night, while the wind outside sounds like threat, and the world feels too wide and the heart feels too small. Let your breath slow. You do not need perfect prayers. You do not need polished words. You only need to be here. You only need to let your soul lean into me like a baby sleeping safe in arms. You have tried to be strong for a long time. You clenched your hands so you would not break. You swallowed tears so no one would see. You pretended stability so no one would ask what you could not answer, and you are tired. I know, not tired in body, but in the deepest place where silent thoughts weigh more than shouted cries. Rest here for a while. No need to explain. I already know. I do not ask so you justify, I ask so you release. I do not listen to judge, I listen to hold. If your soul is a dark room, no one has entered. I do not enter to expose shame. I enter to light a candle. Beloved little one, you are not judged by your cracks. Those cracks do not make you ugly. They are the places my light enters. Anyone who has been broken understands my tenderness more deeply. Anyone who has trembled knows my embrace is stronger than any promise this world can make. You do not need perfection to be near me. I do not love you because you are flawless. I love you because you are mine. Look at me, not with physical eyes, but with that soft knowing in your spirit. You are not abandoned. Not for one moment have I stood far. The stretches you thought most lonely were the times I carried you. Not because you were weak, but because I want your heart to trust love more than achievement. You are not loved for being strong. You are loved even in weakness, and that love is what makes you strong again. Place your hand over your chest. Feel that rhythm. Your heart does not beat on its own. I make it beat. Each beat says I am here. Each breath you draw whispers you belong to me. Each breath you release echoes I hold you. If you ever doubt whether I am near or far, simply touch your own being. I am the life within you, not leaving, not diluted, not fading. You do not need to strain to become something for me. I do not need you to perform. You do not need to wear a mask before your Father. Lay down the strong roles you've carried for so long. The strongest in my kingdom are not those who never cry. The strongest are those who know how to cry in my hands. Every tear is kept in my golden vessel. None fall into barren ground. I see everything you hold inside, the fears unspoken because you feared being judged, the wounds untold because you feared being a burden, the questions you assumed I did not want to hear. I want them, every piece, every hidden corner, not to analyze but to heal. Let me touch that place you have shown no one. Not to expose it, but to soothe it. I do not touch with noise, I touch with stillness, not with pressure, but with warmth, not with command, but with love. I soothe your heart like a mother rubbing the back of a restless child, like a father placing a gentle hand on your head after a nightmare has faded. The world taught you to tense in order to survive. I teach you to release in order to live. The world asks you to prove yourself. I ask you simply to remain. The world measures you by output. I measure you by belonging. Not what have you accomplished, but do you know I love you? You are not fighting alone. The battles you thought you bore alone, I stood before you long before you stood. The visions that threatened your nights I dismantled from the unseen side. The accusations whispering in your mind I scattered like dust in a soft wind. Let these words settle deeply in your soul. You are safe with me. You are safe in me. You are safe, even when the storm has not passed. Safety is not when winds stop. Safety is when I hold you. I do not promise that the wind will always be quiet, but I promise my hand will not leave your shoulder. And when my hand is on you, no power touches you without passing through my love first, and my love never yields to evil. There are times you feel you are losing something precious, but in truth, I am removing burdens from your shoulders. Some people leave and your heart aches. I know. Yet those who leave are not meant to walk with you into the land I am calling you to. It is not loss. It is refining, not an ending, a preparation. I am opening new space inside your soul. Space for deeper breath, space for broader light, space for joy without regret, space for peace without condition, space for you to stand without trembling, to see without fear, to walk without anxiety. Each day I shape you little by little, not with a blade but with the potter's hand. Not cutting but shaping, not forcing but guiding. You are not raw material. You are my artwork in progress. And sacred works do not rush. They unfold like flowers opening under sunlight, not forced, not strained, but opening because light touches them. Trust my process. No moment is wasted, no drop of pain meaningless, no breath unnoticed. You are not lost. You are crossing a valley to climb a mountain. And on that mountain's peak, the wind will carry the sweetness of my spirit. Where you are weak, I cradle you. Where you are cracked, I pour oil of glory to seal and restore. Where you are dim, I breathe on the smallest spark until it becomes a lamp for those who come after you. You are not merely saved, you are set apart. Not merely kept, you are commissioned. Not merely healed, you are anointed. And this path does not begin with trumpets, but with this silence. Every warrior of heaven learns to be still before they speak on the battlefield. None are handed a sword while their heart still trembles from trying to earn worthiness. I want your heart at peace before your feet stand firm. I want your soul soaked in gratitude before your lips proclaim truth. I want you to know you are my child before you ever think of yourself as a warrior. Identity is not built by conquest. Identity is born from my breath within you, and I declare you belong to me. Nothing shakes that. No fear, no failure, no night, no doubt, no tear. My love does not weaken because you cry. It deepens. Stay here a while longer. Just listen, just breathe. I am resetting the order inside you. I am pulling weight from your bones. I am softening the chambers of your heart like soil after the first rain. You do not need to run. You only need to open. And when you open, my waters pour. Layer by layer, pain dissolves. Layer by layer, defenses fall. Every accusing voice grows silent. And your soul hears heaven's rhythm again, gentle, deep, steady, true. You are not lost. You are not late. You are not broken. You are returning. And I wait for you not with patience, but with love. Come closer still. Do not fear my light shining on the places you hid longest. You are not here for judgment. You are here for healing. Only, you look at those places with suspicion. I look at them with mercy. I see you more clearly than you see yourself, and I do not turn away. I am not repulsed by your wounds, nor disappointed by the parts you believe are unworthy. I do not speak like the voice once did in your mind. I do not accuse, I release. You once heard whispers in the shadows of your thoughts, trying to define you that you are not enough, that you ruin things, that you are a burden and a disappointment, that something is wrong with you, that others go farther because they deserve more than you. Those voices are not mine. They are not truth, only echoes of old wounds of days you were compared, overlooked in crowds, loved conditionally, seen as a shadow rather than a soul. But my love is not like the world's love. The world loves when it sees benefit, but I love in order to give life. My beloved child, you do not need to become someone else to have a place in my heart. I do not wait for you to be perfected before I draw near. I chose you before you ever knew how to choose anything, before you could name worth, before the world told you that you had to become something. I saw everything in you, both your beauty and your unfinished places, and I still chose you. Not in a fleeting moment of impulse, but from eternity and unto eternity. And now I speak into the deepest place of your soul, soft yet sharp like light cutting through mist. There is nothing wrong with you. The things you've used to blame yourself were often simply signs of a heart that once loved in a place that did not know how to love back. The places you accuse yourself were often shaped by standards others placed on you, standards they themselves could not carry. I saw the moment you fell and believed you were worthless. I saw the tears that fell not from guilt but from shame, and I did not turn away. I knelt beside you, wiped your tears, and whispered that I am not surprised, not disappointed, and I am still here. Accusation shrinks the soul, healing expands it. You are opening, and I see it. Your breath is lighter. Your heart is loosening the ropes that bound it for years. You once spoke harshly to yourself with words I would never speak. Now I replace them with the truth I have written across your forehead. You are worthy of love. You are my delight. You are not late. You are on time. You are not failing me. I rejoice that you are still standing after the storms. I delight in you as you are, not as a fixed version, not an upgraded model, not one with less pain. You with your history, with your cracks, with your effort, with your hunger for me. There are moments you looked into the mirror of your soul and saw lack, but I saw becoming. I saw the seed pushing through hard soil, the young plant bracing against strong wind, the ember still burning after long rain, the heart choosing gentleness when bitterness called. I saw you not abandon me, even when you did not understand me. No one knows the silent battles you fought like I do, and I say you have fought well, not perfectly but truthfully. And in my kingdom, truth outweighs polished perfection 1,000 times. Now I touch the deepest root of self-blame in you, that small voice that whispers at night, I should have been better. I say to you, you have done better than you think. Where you could not, I cover, not with judgment, but with grace. You are not a mistake. You are someone learning to love in a world that once taught you to forget loving yourself. I do not see you through failure, but through the covenant I placed over you. You do not stand before me like someone awaiting sentence, but like a child running home, and home is not closed. There is no judge's bench here, only light embracing you. Give me what you have not forgiven yourself for. Do not analyze it, just place it in my hands. You do not need to carry twice what I already carried for you. If someone once told you that you were not enough, they were wrong. If a memory insists you were too much, let that memory rest now and let me quiet it. If an inner voice once claimed no one truly needed you, that voice lied. For heaven needs your voice, earth needs your steps, and I chose you for my purpose. Stop striking your own soul. It has endured long enough. Now it needs to be held. Breathe, release, let your heart soften. You no longer have to punish yourself for anything. I tear up the record. I do not reread it, neither should you. When the old voice returns, you will hear, mine louder and deeper, I chose you, and I did not choose wrong. Do not try to become someone else to please me. I am pleased that you are becoming the person I envisioned when I formed you. Not hurried, not pressured, not proving, only moving in, my breath. Old pain is loosening. Shame is dissolving like mist in light. Burdens you placed on yourself are falling away. You are no longer the one trying not to break. You are the one held, and therefore standing. Rest in my arms a little while. Not to gather strength to run, but to remember that your life is supported by my love, not by your effort. You are beautiful in my sight, not in form, but in the soul I am lifting with everlasting gentleness. I love you not because you did right, but because I am love, and you are the place love chose to dwell. Now that your heart is quiet, that accusation is silenced, that old shadow no longer holds your garment. Listen gently but deeply in the place you thought you were weakest. I am laying heaven's strength. Not strength that strains, but strength that is steady-rooted like deep roots, drinking from an underground river that never runs dry. You cried in my hands. Now stand in my hands, not with pride, but with quiet dignity. Some warriors carry clashing swords. You carry light, and light does not need noise to conquer. Your breath has softened, your heart has opened, and now I speak into the deepest chamber of your being. You are not merely one who survived the dark. You are a warrior born of light. You do not rise because you fear. You rise because you are called. You do not flee the night. You carry dawn in your bones. I place my hand upon your head, not as a judge, but as a king placing a crown. Feel this. You are not only being healed, you are being empowered. You are not only being comforted, you are being commissioned. You are not only being lifted up, you are being positioned where you have belonged since eternity. There is a rhythm of heaven inside your chest. There is a signature of heaven on your soul. Darkness did not give you birth, so darkness cannot define you. The enemy only sees the part of you that is becoming. I see the part I ordained before the dawn of creation. You are living proof that light does not merely shine. Light dwells, and wherever light dwells, darkness must retreat. not because you chase it away, but because you stand in me. You are no longer the trembling child before a closed door. You stand and the door opens, not because you force it, but because my authority within you turns the lock. Not because you threaten darkness, but because my mark upon you makes darkness afraid to come near. This is not the frenzy of wild strength. This is the calm of one who knows, who goes before them. This is the posture of one who has learned that silence is a weapon, endurance, a sword, love a fire, and peace, a fortress. You do not need to prove strength. You only need to remember its source. Now I place a garment of light upon your shoulders, not something seen by earthly eyes, but seen by darkness, and it trembles. This garment is not woven by thread, but by covenant, not sewn by human hands, but breathed by me. It is not decoration, it is authority. When you walk, you do not walk alone. Heaven walks with you. When you speak softly, darkness flees violently. When you touch someone with compassion, invisible chains around them begin to loosen. When you remain silent in the face of threat, the enemy trembles, remembering that I too was silent before absolute victory. You are not merely loved, you are entrusted. Not with burden, not with weight, but with honor, with flow, with life that becomes a spring for other lives. Feel this, your soul now stands higher than the place where you once collapsed. Not by human strength, but by my hand beneath your back. I am lifting you with a gentleness darkness cannot comprehend. It believes strength is a roar, but I teach you that strength is an unbroken breath. Do not fear mistakes. Do not fear lack. The victorious one is not the one who never fails, but the one who returns to me each time they cross a fracture. And each time you return, you do not go back to where you were. You rise to where you are meant to be. You call me Father, but now I call you a warrior of light. Not a rebellious warrior, but one with a kingdom. You do not fight to be accepted. You fight because you already belong. You do not stand to prove. You stand because you are rooted. I have written your name in the book of those who do not turn back. You do not need to know how to win. You only need to keep your eyes on me, and I win through you. Every battle is no longer a burden. It is simply a place where I reveal my glory through your life. And now I whisper into the core of your spirit, you have authority, you have light, you have peace, you have grace, not to boast but to love, not to control but to free souls, not to stand above but to stand with, to lift others as I have lifted you. And remember this, like breath, you do not stand alone in the night. Other warriors of light are awake with you. Angels stand in ranks around you. I stand among them, and I set you in the center of my light. No shadow dares drag you back to what was, for the gate behind you is closed and the door ahead is open. You belong to the new season. You belong to light. You belong to me. And you do not merely step out of darkness. You carry light through the night so others may find their way. You are not only saved, you are entrusted with flame. Keep it close to your heart. It does not fade. It is not fragile. It does not come from your will. It comes from heaven. And as you breathe, that flame breathes with you. I trust you. I choose you. I send you. And with every step you take, I step within you. Sit a little longer now. You need not do anything. Peace does not come when you strive. Peace enters when you open. And I want you to feel this with your soul, not imagination. You are not sitting alone. Not now, not ever, in any moment of your life. Right where you breathe, the space around your spirit is thick with light. Not the blinding display of spectacle, but the gentle light of an invisible wall of fire standing guard. Those who belong to darkness see it, and they know the boundary has been set. Not a boundary you must defend, but one I have established. No one crosses what I decree. Heaven's armies are not gathered because of emergency. They stand because of my name upon you. They stand like pillars of light, still silent, ready, immovable, needing no sword drawn to prove anything. Their presence is enough. As night withdraws, not because it is chaste, but because dawn arrives, darkness retreats, not because you shout, but because the sound of your heart now beats in rhythm with mine. Your breath is joining heaven's breath. Your heartbeat is aligning with the still rhythm of glory. And here in this holy stillness you are armed. Not with burning weapons, but with the knowing that you do not need to fear. Peace is your armor. Sacred quiet is your sword. The quiet faith within your chest is the war horse I have placed beneath your feet. Feel the protection not from afar but encircling you, not a fence built by effort but a boundary formed by authority. Heavenly hosts, bright like the purest breath of my being, stand around you, not tense, not strained, not awaiting battle, but like guardians watching over the sleep of a royal child, and you are that child. And do you know what terrifies darkness most? Not shouting, not striving, but you sitting still like this in me, unafraid, unhurried, unmoved, unproving. The enemy always hopes you will react, but you are resting. Reaction belongs to the soul that does not yet know who guards it. Rest belongs to the soul that knows it has a throne for shade. Let me show you this image. In the depths you stand in a valley of white mist, and light stands guard on every side. No clash of swords, no footsteps, marching only the hush of dominion. The enemy watches from a distance but cannot approach. It does not know I have placed thunder inside the silence. It does not know I hide fire inside peace. I do not need noise to win, and neither do you. Feel the way I cover each breath you take. This is not protection like men guarding gates. This is territory I myself have claimed. Any shadow that draws near does not come to threaten. It comes only to witness and withdraw. For around you is the breath of my spirit, like a quiet ark, placing my hand upon your forehead, my light upon your shoulders, my stillness like a soft cloak around your mind. You do not need to watch every direction. I watch. You do not need to fear unseen arrows. I see them before they form. You do not need to scan rooms for danger. Look within and find me there, and when I am present, who can stand? Night is no longer a danger zone. Night is now the hour when I speak, I hold, I keep. Night is the time heaven whispers when my wind moves through your soul and softens the lines once tense. Night is no longer anxiety. Night is a sanctuary for you and me, where you reconnect to eternal breath. You are not called to guard yourself. You are called to rest, not to watch in fear, but to trust, not to defend your spirit, but to let me defend you from all that does not belong to light. I press peace into your bones until it becomes your structure. I wrap quiet like new skin around your mind. I widen space inside your chest, so every breath reminds you, heaven does not merely surround you, it inhabits you. Let this stillness teach you the secret of the spiritual warrior. The greatest battle is not fought when you strain, but when you trust me to do my part. And when you trust, you become territory that cannot be invaded. Your peace confuses the dark, for it does not know how to break what does not fear. It understands terror, but you do not answer with terror. You answer with holy quiet. When you rest like this, angels are not frantic. They stand in reverence like temple guards before a king. No urgency, no chaos, no fear, only dominion, only light, only order higher than the order of earth. And do you know the most wondrous thing? You do not have to fight to be protected. You only have to be present. Heaven does the rest. Right now, every place that touches you is soaked in oil of peace. Every doorway to your heart is closed to strange voices and open to my breath. You are not simply safe. You are positioned in a sacred zone where every dark plan fails because you sit in the center of my will. Each breath you take declares, you are not alone. With every exhale, darkness hears me say, do not come closer. With every inhale, heaven's army marches in rhythm with your heartbeat. No human eye sees this, but heaven and hell both know. And that truth makes you strong without striving. Hold this moment. Remember the scent of peace. Store the tone of silence in your bones. When you need it, simply close your eyes and return here. For this place is not geographical. It is covenantal. You are not on the battlefield. You are in heaven's court. The battle is only the outer scenery, not the center. You stand in the center of light, and from the center you need only breathe and darkness retreats. This is my strategy for you. Peace is not the result of victory. Peace is the victory. Stillness is not a pause. Stillness is a weapon, and you are not merely covered. You are learning to reign from rest in me. Quiet your soul and let every inner noise melt like mist in sunlight. You have learned to be still before me, to let my hand touch the deepest places, and heal the invisible wounds of your spirit. Now I take you deeper still, where my voice is not found by effort but by rest. I do not need to thunder for you to hear. I only need your heart open and soft like water before a breeze. You once thought hearing me required straining your mind, stirring emotion, waiting for signs. But now you see, it feels like your soul becoming calm before you understand why, like a faint pull in your heart, nudging you one way instead of another. Like peace without explanation, like a warmth arriving in a brief moment, yet lingering long. My voice does not compete with noise. It stands above it and sinks deeper than it. When the world pulls your mind to run with urgency, I pull you back to the soft place, the slow breath, the still water that reflects the sky. Hearing me is not hunting for fast answers. It is recognizing that I am speaking even when no sound is heard. I speak through my presence in you, through the peace that settles your heart, through the gentle knowing that rests on you like silk laid across the shoulders, enough to awaken but never to startle. When you recognize this, you will understand you have heard me many times before. You simply did not know it was me, because I never force, never interrupt, never push. I touch the deepest place and make everything clear without noise, and what you hear will begin to shape how you speak. Those who hear me do not speak from fear, do not speak to win, do not speak to be seen, but speak as those whose breath comes from holy ground. You will find your words becoming light yet sharp, gentle yet deep, humble yet powerful. You will find you no longer need to pull anyone, only to be present for those who stand near fire, carry the scent of fire. Those who dwell near the Spirit carry His breath. Sometimes you will speak very little, and hearts before you will still break open, for they are not hearing your voice but sensing the presence that follows you. Sometimes you will not need to speak at all. You will simply sit beside someone and the place will fill with light, the way a candle has nothing to prove but to burn, and darkness understands it must withdraw. Trust that I will show you when to speak and when to be silent, when to touch someone's shoulder and when simply to look with mercy in your eyes. You do not need technique to hear my voice. You only need honesty with your own stillness. When your heart rests, I speak. When you breathe rightly, I lead. When you sit with me asking for nothing, trying for nothing, fearing you might not hear, I speak in ways you cannot mistake. You will know it is me, not because I shout, but because in the moment I speak, the universe within you becomes still and anxiety has nowhere to land. You were not sent into the world to argue. You were sent to bring life, not to impress, to awaken, not to impose, to free. Sometimes freedom happens in silence, sometimes in a whisper, sometimes in a single sentence that another soul hears like a prayer. And you will marvel when you discover that sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is the moment you say nothing at all, simply placing a hand on a shoulder the way I have placed my hand on yours again and again. Do not fear my gentleness in you. Do not mistake it for weakness. A soft wind is not weak. It enters places storms cannot reach. So does my spirit. The flame on you is not a shouting flame. It is a flame that warms, embraces, and reveals. And you, one who has learned to rest in me, are now learning to speak with that same essence, not to draw attention, but to show those drowning in noise the way out. You do not speak to be heard. You speak so others may hear themselves when I awaken them from within. You have traveled from fearing your voice to healing the wound of not being heard, and now you enter a new place, your voice becoming a channel for mine. And that is not burden, it is grace. You do not need to hold on to the sacred. Remain in me and the sacred will hold you. You do not need to think, what should I say? You only need to think, I am in Him, and from there everything flows right. You will know you are hearing me when peace increases, when your heart softens instead of tightens, when your breath deepens instead of quickens, when words rise not from a busy mind, but from the quiet, cool spring deep within, where the river of life flows without end. You will know you are speaking from me when the face of another softens, when their shoulders drop, when their eyes brighten, when suddenly there is room in their soul to breathe. For my voice does not press, does not wound, does not condemn. My voice gives life. And now you are becoming a voice like that, the voice of one who has lived in stillness, the voice of one who knows darkness no longer has a grip, the voice of one who carries dawn inside their chest. No one can take that from you because it did not come from learning. It was breathed into you by my Spirit. Simply remain in me, and all else will find its right place. Let your spirit open one layer further. You have learned to rest. You have learned to hear. You know you belong to the light, and darkness no longer has say over your breath. Now I give you something deeper. Your eyes will begin to see beyond what humans see. You will notice the movement beneath movements, the meaning beneath words, the shifting wind of the Spirit before the world senses anything, not to make you suspicious, but to keep you from losing your way, not to make you tense, but to help you walk lightly and surely like one who sees the path even in thick fog. When you walk with me, you learn darkness is not something to fear, only something to recognize, so you do not surrender space it has no right to claim. I teach you to discern not through panic, but through peace. Peace is confirmation, confusion is caution. Holy intuition does not sway like human wind. It arrives like water dripping in stone, hollows, soft yet precise, quiet yet unmistakable, humble yet piercing. Your sword is not metal, your sword is discernment. Discernment is the blade of the kingdom. Those who carry the sword are not the ones who speak much, but the ones who see and know without guessing. Discernment does not come from information, it comes from dwelling in me. The world analyzes, heaven recognizes, and I have placed that capacity to recognize within you. There will be moments when you meet people whose souls speak what their mouths do not. You will feel the borrowed strength in their words, the fatigue inside their smile, the fear hidden beneath their success, the silent cry woven into their laughter. Do not judge them. Do not rush to rescue them. Simply hold peace and wait for my timing. My people do not leap into healing from impulse. My people carry their sword within and only draw it when I touch their shoulder and say, now. Hurry is not compassion. It is fear wearing a spiritual mask. True mercy knows how to wait, and you now are learning this. Let your eyes be trained by light. I do not teach you to see darkness. I teach you to see light, even when darkness tries to parade itself. No one is commissioned to dig through shadows. You are sent to proclaim glory. When you walk, you do not hunt lies. You bring truth, and truth exposes lies without you lifting a hand. Light does not need effort. It only needs presence. You will see and know when a path is not mine, not because it terrifies you, but because it lacks peace. Peace is the map. Peace is the guard. Peace is the radar. When your heart is still like a quiet lake, you are walking in the right direction. When your heart ripples without visible cause, do not take the step. That is me tapping the blade inside you so you hear its quiet chime and remember, not this way. When the world's voices press in, you no longer need to fight as before. Simply return to breath and whisper in your heart, Father is here. When those words arise, every false voice dims like oil lamps at sunrise. You do not wrestle land from the night. Dawn belongs to you. Your intuition is not a vague gift. It is the cord that connects you to the Spirit. Do not doubt what I give you to feel. You are not imagining. Your sensitivity is not weakness. It is anointing. Sensitivity is not burden. Sensitivity is heaven's antenna. All that remains is for me to tune the dial from fear to knowing from react, to observe from unstable to standing in the light. And you will discover something beautiful. You do not need to protect your energy. I protect it. Your task is not to build walls. Your task is to keep the gate of your heart open to me. I handle the rest. True strength is not found in defense, but in the certainty that you do not need defense when I am the fortress around you. There will be days when your heart trembles and you do not know why. Do not panic. Stand still for one breath and let me flatten every wave within you. Let your breath become a quiet call. Father, reconnect, and I will answer immediately. The sword within your spirit will be sharpened in this stillness. No sound of steel, no sparks flying. Only the quiet edge of spiritual knowing becoming sharper. When deception draws near, you do not need to shout. Simply step aside and let my light stand in front. When slick words look for room in your heart, just whisper, I recognize this voice is not of the Father, and it will dissolve like smoke. You do not fight shadows. Shadows have no skill in battle when they stand before one who carries the source of light. Your eyes now see with a new depth. You do not only see form, you begin to see essence. You do not merely sense people, you sense their direction toward the light or away from it. Not to judge, but to know who needs a quiet word, who needs silence beside them, who needs you, simply standing near without saying anything, who needs only one sentence, "I see you," who needs one hand laid gently on a shoulder. I will guide your mouth, you will not fabricate words. Words will come like drops of honey, like a passing breeze, like a bird that lands exactly where it should. You will know it is mine because the sentence will not rise from your mind but from your heart, and when it leaves your lips, the atmosphere around you will shift once you used your eyes to find the path. Now you use the light within. The way appears beneath the feet of those who stand in me. The lost search for signs. Those who belong to me search for peace. Peace is the compass. Peace is the map. Peace is the weapon. Peace is the proof I walk with you. And now I whisper this vital truth. You do not fight to keep the light. You carry light so darkness cannot set foot on your territory. You do not need to appear strong. Your gentleness is the throne where my power rests. Softness is not defeat. Softness is the proof that you are held by an unbreakable hand. The world fears deception. You recognize deception without trembling. The world fears traps. You pass through traps like water slipping through stone because you do not rely on terrain but on the current of the Spirit. And wherever your footsteps light goes ahead, heaven's armies stand around, and the sword within you gleams like a hidden crescent moon, and the enemy sees only one truth. Do not touch this one. The one behind them cannot be touched. No noise needed, no effort, no force. This is heaven's strategy to win by knowing me, perceiving me, and stepping when I step. You are becoming such a one who sees with spiritual eyes, who knows what is unspoken, who stands not because they understand everything, but because they belong to the one who never errs. Let your heart rest here one breath longer, not to hold on to anything, but to let everything that has flowed become sap running into your bones. You do not need to remember every sentence. Whatever came from heaven will anchor itself without your effort. Just breathe slowly, gently, and recognize that in this moment you stand between two shores. The old one just healed, the new one just opened, and I am standing on both holding your hand so fear finds no entrance. Do not rise too quickly in spirit. Let this stillness go one layer deeper, long enough for your heart to know that you did not merely hear my words, you were touched by me. You do not walk away with knowledge, you walk away with imprint. That is the difference between the one who hears and the one who has been saturated. Darkness does not leave because you fight. Darkness leaves because you dwell in me. And now the steps you take as you leave this moment will not be like the steps you took entering it. Not because you strained, but because your roots have gone one layer deeper. Not because you force strength, but because I have stayed inside you long enough to leave the warmth of heaven woven into the fibers of your soul. Remember this not with mind, but with knowing there is not a single moment you walk alone, not a breath where you must shield yourself, not a thought that must face the world by itself. You are held, you are seen, you are known, you are loved, and even when you forget, I do not. When your heart trembles, mine does not. When you weaken, I do not lessen. When you step, I walk with you. When you pause, I sit beside you. The silence now is not emptiness. It is the fullness of me. If you close your eyes, you will feel that it is not quiet surrounding you, but light defending you. And if you stretch out the hand of your spirit, you will touch warmth not born from flesh, but from beyond the veil where I call your name with the voice a father uses only for his own child. No farewell is needed. I do not leave. No strained promise is required. I have already kept mine. Simply walk gently as one who knows a covering rests above their head, as one who knows light goes before them, as one who does not need to hurry to prove worth. For love is not measured by speed, but by its ability to remain. When you leave this moment, leave like water slipping from a palm, not lost, only joining a greater current. And when the world touches you, it will not meet fear or fatigue as before. It will meet peace, forged in flame, gentleness, tempered in stillness, light that stands without resistance, a soul that knows its source and no longer seeks shelter elsewhere. You go, but I remain. You are quiet, yet I still speak within. You sleep and I keep watch. You breathe and each breath is a rhythm I sustain. You live and every step testifies that you belong to light from before creation's dawn. Walk softly and walk with me, for there is no place you go where my footprints have not gone ahead. No day you live without heaven's armies guarding the borders. No word touches your heart that bypasses my covering. You belong to me, and what belongs to me is never lost. Rest in that, then go forward like quiet light that cannot be invaded. I am here, still here, and forever here. May the word of the Lord continually remind you to live each day in His faith and His love. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss the sacred messages He sends to strengthen you. May God bless you. Amen.